You have to manage your team. You will be managing your team. Whatever the decisions you take, whatever the answers you're going to answer, your team is responsible for all your answers and all your decisions. Okay. The second rule is you are not to speak. You don't have to stand up and you don't have to speak anything. You have to choose one of your team members every time I ask an answer and make them speak. No changes, no exchanges, no exchanges. No. You have. I gave you a fair chance. I gave you a fair choice. You chose your leaders. They are not going to speak anything to me. They have to choose who are speaking, who are answering. Fair enough? Okay. These are the only two rules. Sit down. Okay. So, can anybody tell me what we are gathered here for? Is that someone is admiring me and they have sent an address. Yeah, please. Yeah, it happens. Accidents happen. That particular person lives in Annanagar and she sent a puzzle for me to solve, and the answer for that puzzle is the street name, street number where she lives. So this is the problem. 18. Please sit down.
Because we made the question.
Okay. I want you to stand, please stand up. I just want a small answer. Now, when I gave you this problem, on what basis did you arrive that answer was right? On what basis? I mean, trigonometric equation. So, can I assume that this was what you've learned in your PG or schools or whatever it is? Okay. So, this was what he learned. Thanks. So when he was school, he learned a pre-described pattern of solving a problem, which was taught. So I apologize, I just got 35 marks. I don't know this. When he was in school, his teachers taught him very fast, and they just targeted him. This is the pattern to solve the problem. Solve it. And once he is familiar with the way to solve the process to solve it, no matter what the problem he gets, what the variables there are, he'll just follow the process. Easily, faster, simple, and he'll arrive the solution. Now, this has been a way for human evolution. Ever since for the past 2 million years, no matter what kind of a problem we faced, human being was very successful in developing a standardized solution. He developed a solution for it. He made it a standardized way of solving it. And following that path, he solved every problem he faced. Now, I have another problem for you to solve. A man walks into a bar and asks for a drink. The bartender pulls out a gun and points at him. The man says thanks and walks out. It's complete nonsense, right? If a man points a gun at me, I'll just freak out and fall. That's me. So I have 8 teams. I need 8 answers. I want you to cook up stories, patterns, flashbacks, anything. I'll give you 5 minutes time. I need you to cook up 5 different stories. And all the stories should make some sense into this. And I'll give you 5 minutes. Go ahead. Just discuss with your team members, follow whatever the patterns you have. Whatever the answers. Time is 5. Give a fair chance to all the teams. I need. Okay, 1 team is ready with the answers. 2 teams are ready with the answers. What about the rest of the 6? Just cook your flashbacks or forwards, whatever it is. Just cook a story to put some sense into this nonsense. If all the teams are ready with the answers, we'll go ahead. One, 3 teams are ready. Just raise the teams who are ready. Just one hand. Leaders, just raise your hands if you are ready. 4 hands, I see. Yes. I need 4 more hands. One second.
No, you showed.
1 minute.
When he came to that bar, when he asked for drink for that only. So suddenly that person point to him with that there's no one.
Okay, Nitin says that the person is suffering from hiccups, so the bartender helps him with a gun. A sudden shock would relieve. Any other story?
He thought the Johnny Walker is his name. He thought he's a culprit, so he thought he came to catch him. So he puts it in the gun.
Okay. Christoph and Constance.
They have introduced a new brand of whiskey which names as gun. So if he pulls out and the man takes and says gun.
I have just three stories.
There's another brand of bar is actually a house name. The bartender is the person and his wife is drink. And still went to the house and after getting a drink and that bartender, that person became angry and is put out the gun and
Perfect. Thanks.
The bartender pulls out the gun out of the man's pocket and points it towards that thief, and the man says thank you and walks.
Very good. Any more stories? Okay. Yeah. Creativity. When I asked you to solve the first problem, Sarah and Vasant were so enthusiastic to answer because they already know how to solve it. Everybody knows how to solve it because we learned it in our school. We know which path to follow, we know how to solve it, so we solved it. But when I gave you the second problem, you had a small collision across your mind. What is this? Yeah, I didn't learn it before. How to solve it, how to solve it faster, how to arrive a correct answer. So when I went across and I asked for an answer, I heard 5 different stories, which completely made sense, isn't it? Everything made sense. So human being and his brain are caged in such a way that he always tends to think in the boundary of the facts which he had learned. His brain is caged in such a way from his kindergarten till now, whatever we are studying, till the PG, our brain is caged in such a way that no matter what the question we ask, no matter what the question anybody asks, no matter what the problem we face, we just try to think, we just try to think in the boundary that are led around us with the facts we know. And when I asked you the second question, you don't know anything, you don't know any way, you just don't know how to solve it. So you started to think again and again and again, how to solve it, how to solve it, how to solve it. Now that is what basically creativity is. Creativity is not playing some music with guitar or painting a hi-fi painting with pencils. No, it's not creativity. Creativity is a pattern of solving any problem in a new way. It's trying to find out new patterns, new forms, new ways to solve it. So, but before we understand what creative thinking is, we basically need to know how our brain is caged. So, here's a small video.
I think I'll don't have any restrictions as such. Do not let anything bind you. When you have a thought, just let the thought proceed. No restrictions as such. Like what you said, don't have a mental cage.
Okay. Any more views?
You believe in something that you can do. If you have any good ideas, implement it and see.
Anyone? Okay. Now quickly I'll ask you a question. When I asked you the second question, whose story did you like most? Saurav? Thank you for a very attractive story. And sorry, Priyanka's also. Yeah, that's very good. So now, as Avinash said, we were very stressed out nowadays that we can't think straight, we can't think creative because we are completely stressed out. But back then when we were kids, we didn't face any stress. So I'll just leave the question to you. Is creativity a luxury or a necessity for everyone? So, right. As Avinash said, he just asked a basic question, how is it going to help us? Because we are stressed out these days. So how does it help us in the business? So I'll give you present a classic case of business, straight business case. This case is about an MRI scanner. Here you see, what you see is a typical MRI scanner, and this is a very successful design. And the designer of this particular scanner is named as Doug Beats. And he was a successful designer. His company made huge lot of profits. He had no losses at all. So why am I presenting this case? This particular person, when he was going around the world to check the success of his machine to hospital, he ended up in a children's hospital once. When he was talking to the doctor, he suddenly saw a small girl running out of the scanner room, crying with tears in her eyes. She just went straight back to her mother and says, "Mom, just let me go. I don't want to be here." He just felt bad. So he just tried to analyze why is a girl crying. He just went into the room. It's just a classic MRI machine that makes huge noise. You know how it works. The patient sleeps in the machine. He goes in, the machine makes a lot of noise, and you get your scanner. And that scared the girl a lot. He wanted to solve this. He just don't like any kids being sad. So he just went to his financiers and asked how to change this. They said, "Sir, if you want to design a soundproof machine, it's going to cost a lot. And now that this design is very successful, it's highly unlikely that our customers will buy the new one." This was the case, so he can't design it. So again, he then goes back to the doctors and asks, "How about I design something new? It doesn't make any sound, will you buy it?" They said, "Sorry, we can't afford any more machines." Then he started to think. Then he got up with another problem. Now, the number of anesthesiologists required to help the doctors have the kids a proper MRI scanner is growing day by day, and it reached to that level that 80% of the kids are being sedated to get a proper scan. And you know what, Indian anesthesiologists cost from 3,000 to 1 lakh. They charge very high just to keep you asleep for a while. Now just imagine the cost they charge in America. So these are the two problems he came across. Now I'm leaving the thinking process for you guys. Just come up with some idea. I need one idea from each team. Come up with an idea that can give him a solution that will help both the kids and his pocket. Fair enough? Any doubts regarding the problem? Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes of thinking. Think ahead, discuss within your own team, and come up with an idea. Thank you. If you have any doubts regarding it, just feel free to ask. 6 minutes more.
Headphones inside because MRIs would not take magnetic stuff.
Okay.
Images are something within that thing. Yes, it's similar to what Shah said, but it's going to be projections.
You want to add another machine to the machine. Okay. Any answers here?
Tells a kid, make her aware that nothing is going to happen when she enters it. Gives her a shows a demo and makes aware the kids that nothing is going to happen.
Hire a psychologist and give a demo of what's going to happen. Thing is that before
before entering the MRI scanning room, on the way, that veranda kind of thing. In that, there is some kind of superhero with the MRI and the normal person gets into the machine, becomes a superhero, some kind of psychological sacrifice food. The child will be thinking like, okay, if I go in, nothing is going to happen, I'll get power, like something like that.
Perfect. Okay.
And make MRI scanners as a cartoon images, like we can exteriors and
Who got the first chance, please?
What else we can add into that projections and visualization is like, you people would have seen planetarium, right? You can bring in some stars, moons and all.
Yeah.
So that
we can't include any other sort of electronic or music or anything inside that thing. That is for sure. So what we can do is we can tell them that we can, from the loud music, we can just create a sense and ask them to, occupy their mind with something else. Like when you hear a loud sound, what all music can come to your mind? Okay, something like that. We just keep them occupied inside the machine. That's it.
Okay, just give them a reality.
The cost-effective solution can be telling to child go and sleep. Okay, this can be, and for the sound, what can be done that putting some cotton in the ear so that child can't hear anything.
Anything else? Any more ideas?
The mission sound should be manipulated in such a way that it should be hearable.
Any more ideas?
A query or something like a puzzle, so that by the time the kid comes out, he will be, or they'll involved in solving the same thing and never pay attention to the other things at all.
Any more? Shallow? Okay, the solution what he came up with is he just created a piratey environment in the room. He just painted the machine into a ship, added some Caribbean accent, just a beach accent and ocean just kind of thing. He trained the technicians that work near the machine to speak to the kids like they speak with pirates. Hey matey, come in, something like that. Then they just said, you're going into the wormhole and be ready, there's going to be a lot of cannon fire. You just be ready, it's going to be a very good exciting experience. If you move, you're going to get hurt. So that way they created an environment where the kids started to enjoy. The first experience was a terrifying one, but when they came out, it was an adventure ride for every kid. And this made a financial effect. It reduced the number of people who needed to get sedated from 80% to 10%. It gradually reduced it, and it was a cost effective, and this is not that costly to do. It's just painting the room into colorful. Thank you. Okay, now for particular people, if one person is putting forth an idea, we have to discuss it from every angle possible and then decide. And this is the classic case scenario. What's going to happen when you put your idea through? Everybody's going to fight to prove you wrong or to prove you right, isn't it? So this is the technique Mr. Edward de Bono came forth with, the 6 thinking hats. Basically what this 6 thinking hat does is it modulates the brains of all the people involved in the conference room into a single pattern. They'll just make you think alike. It's basically that. So this 6 thinking hats has sliced your brain like a pizza. It sliced it into 6 pieces, each piece controlling one pattern of your thought. The first piece, or the first hat, is called the blue hat. It controls the rest of the hats. It just controls what you're gonna think, what you're gonna think, what I'm gonna think. It controls the rest of the hats. The next hat is a white hat. What this hat does, it just put the facts through. Facts, truth, mistakes, past, history, future, everything, whatever the data you have, whatever the info you have, whatever the information, data, numbers, plots, everything. Everything that is relevant or irrelevant to the topic. It just puts plain data in front of you. Red hat. Red hat is emotional and reactions. It considers every emotion you have. It considers every emotion, every reaction you have. It's completely emotional. Green hat. Green hat is completely creative. It puts forth new ideas. When white hat brings already established facts and already established ideas, green hat brings newer ideas, newer versions of the ideas. It helps you to think beyond. Yellow hat helps you to think completely positive. No negatives allowed, no new ideas allowed. What are the options you have? You have to consider the pros and positives of that particular idea. You have to consider only the benefits. And finally, my favorite, the black hat. This particular hat is completely negative. If you have an idea, it will be completely ready to put you down. Okay? So, today I have bring forth a real-time problem. If anybody have come to the last Sunday's OBD, we've been to Kongeri village, and when you guys were very busy with cooking, I went through the village and recorded few problem statements that BTech guys have come up with. I'm going to play 2 videos, and I'm just going to give you a problem statement, a real-time problem statement which we are working very hard on, and I need you to come up with ideas, and with this technique we're going to implement a solution. Okay? Everybody ready? Does anybody have a problem? Any doubts, questions, queries? Okay? Okay, let's go. Kilometers from our campus, and they don't know anything about what kind of competitive exams they have, what kind of fields that are popping up, newer fields to compete with. They just don't have any idea what the exterior world is evolving into. And they are just unaware of what the exterior world is, what the world is 15 kilometers away from them. They just don't have proper cell signal, they don't have proper internet effects. We just know, we've been there and we spent a day, and we know what a day is without a cell phone. So, I'm going to be the blue hat bearer. I'm going to control your thought process. The first thing is, I need all the facts you know, all the facts you can imagine, all the facts you can think of, and put forward. For this, I gave you a paper. Everybody make 5 boxes in it. 5 different boxes. Faster. Take out your papers and put 5 different boxes in the paper. That's all the papers. Leaders. Now the white color represents the white color thinking. Every leader has to wear it. You are supposed to think only the facts, nothing else.
After her 12th, and she doesn't know what BDS is, and she opted for diploma. So the basic awareness of that is not, that was not there in that village. So what we have come out for that solution is placing a placard boards, boards all over those villages. Like after 12th, there is an ITA, there is a diploma, and explaining all the courses what it is. So that was one thing we came up. That solution was made on that day itself. And one more thing, they have a library over there, but there was not so much resources. But they are willing to study and learn more. So what we have to take a decision is like we are spending lots, and either week by week or at least a month by month we have to donate books, at least 1 or 2 to that library. So that is the second. And third thing is like a guy there, he will be in 7th grade also. He was drumming, he bet the drums hard, and it was really good to listen. And that talent is hidden in that village itself. It did not come out. And we have to make arrangement for that also. And we can make like career training sessions, and talent hunts and supports. And one more thing, what we did is students and some of the students in that Kongeri village are studying in Professor Dharapalan College of Engineering, and we have invited them for the pledge minds to showcase their talents without any entry fee. Thank you.
Thank you.
No proper communication channels, there is no internet, no market shop facilities, no good transportation facilities, high rate of illiteracy is there, no schools, colleges, and no world-class education, no proper infrastructure is there. And the solutions are: one high-tech center with proper television, newspaper, internet facility. Newspaper should be local as well as English newspaper. More courses through internet by world-renowned lecturers. proper basic amenities like food, roadways by raising funds through NGOs.
As I'm a communication engineer, I can try for organizing a new tower over there, which has we can provide it a 3G connection, and so that they have access to the internet for them in engineering colleges and even different colleges. They must be aware of what type of education are there. Courses like classes like time can be organized over there for them to get developed in fields like MBA.
Not just us to the solution. Solution is only the removing corruption to implement all the government policy effectively. Because all the policy is only done in the paper, not in the materialistic support to them. Second thing, we all NGO and human rights and also we all should mind our own job and responsibility towards society, and we should and also we involve rather than involving the politics and commercialization. This is the only solution.
All the technology. Career guidance is also there, and sanitations.
Okay.
And we can provide outbound training so that they will learn something and then go back and make them also learn. And take them to schools so that they can have a good experiential learning also.
Solution is like developing upon what Vasan said. There can be more comparative books and career guidance books kept into the libraries, and then regarding the exposing them to the corporate world, more corporate mentors can be brought in weekly as part of the CSR activities and ask them to tell them what is happening in the real corporate world. Yeah, that's all.
Wi-Fi facility, we can give them a tab called Akshaya tab, which was designed by the IIT Bombay students. So that can be given free of cost to the students, and they can get updates about the current situation through the smart device.
And you can give orientation to all the family members about the power of knowledge. Setting up some compulsory libraries with high-tech browsing facilities, and you can actually choose some mentors or students or professors and go there. You can always set up some education phase so that people at least monthly or weekly wise, so everyone they can gather and they can see know about stuff.
Out of enthusiasm, they tend to learn more.
Through technology, they will feel that they are connected to the outside world.
Yeah, they had problems with communication. So we suggest they had a transformation from Tamil medium to college English medium. So what we suggested was ask them to send mails and chats in English. And then one more was when they had some seminars in class, go for it without being afraid. So this will motivate them more to talk in English and go along, get along.
The villagers, they are completely isolated from the outside world. Giving them awareness by certain programs will help them to increase the level of thinking. And it will help them to being stronger in an emotional sense.
Give us a new tower. By doing this, they can be well connected to their family and relatives. They can share their good ideas and their pain which they have to others. So their emotions will be they may feel free after speaking to someone else, and the knowledge will increase by communication, and also they can have some competition. So the competition will also improve their efficiency.
Something for the first time, and that also increases their level of happiness and involvement towards learning something and utilizing it more. That was two positive emotions that we identified. The negative emotions were they're not if opportunity is not uniform, there might be a biased statement. When I am not given an opportunity, I will feel bad that I am not allowed to use certain things. That would be there, and also there would be ego factor. In terms of age differences, a 12th grade student had to show ego and then take it from a child who is 5 years old. So all those would be the negative emotions. These are emotions.
Production process, they'll get employment and they'll get motivated. Women empowerment happens, and conducting education fairs, always village people think that we are neglected or people don't care. They can see mentors and students coming and in advance of their benefits. They always see to go in a positive sentiment of emotion.
Villages, right? The emotions and all the feelings will be raw. It'll be very crude. Once they fight, they fight. And once they are very happy with each other, they show it out loud. So, like what we said, see, like they're planting the mainstay of the entire village is agriculture, as far I have observed. So what we can do is we can make a brand out of their own agriculture produce. So that will create a sense of attachment to what they produce. So they will be motivated highly to sell those kind of brands, and then so once that kind of things start moving, they'll have betterment of the village will happen.
And satisfaction, they will get satisfaction from this, and they will develop caring and understanding levels, and they will be motivated and they will be so much happy.
The thing is, in order to make them accept what you are going through, you need to establish an emotional connect with them. Just going, implementing your ideas and coming back won't help. So first you need to go make friends with them, be with them, know what they are, show what you are, and then implement what you think.
Now everybody has expressed their views.
Up, down, right, up, left, right.
Again.
Up, down, right, up, left, right.
Again.
Up, down, right, up, left, right.
Now okay, we'll try it again. This time, if you see an arrow down, say down, but lift your hands up. Yeah, I know it. Okay. Lift your hands, but say down. Okay? Ready? One. To go down, and when he returns back, if there is anybody in the lift or if it is a rainy day, then he'll directly go to the 12th floor, or else he goes to the 10th floor and climbs the 2 stairs. Now I don't want any answers from you. Every individual just think, what could be the story behind this? Why is he doing something like this? Now write down your feedback. Take a bus, go to Kelambakam or Tamram. I did that. Just very few people like Jeet, Balaji and Vasan knows how many calls I've made to get my ways, to get my facts straight. I would have made like 11, 12, 13 calls to each. Now there were options like bus, auto, train, and I ended up taking a cab, pretty costly affair. Now my experience, what it taught me was, cab will save you time, it will save you the stress, but it will also strain your pocket. I had different options, my choice was the cab. So in the same way, you might have a lot of options, but you're always scared or you're always feared to take the risk. Now people who were scared were just like normal guys, and who were ready to take the risk are the people whom we read about in newspapers. And if you want to end up like someone like that, just try giving a lateral thinking of your brain. Just start, you don't have to do much. These are small activities, and there is another activity. If you are interested, I will tell. Try to do those exercises. It will help your brain to encourage you to think like that. And all you have to do is question every way. Now democracy, which we have, helps us do that a lot. Question at every pattern. If someone comes and tells why you have to do this, just ask him why should we do that. If you can't do that, you will just be a puppet. A TV remote does what it's given instructions. If you press a button, it will operate. If you press, it will switch off. If you want a life like that, I don't want a life like that, and I don't want you guys to have a life like that. All you have to do is question. Open your mouth and ask, why should I do that? Why can't I do this? This way, you will get your facts straight. You will know something which you don't know. You will have a better way to channel, to make a choice. Thank you. I hope you written your feedback. Just give me the paper. Thank you very much.